today's Just Ask Jen is going to answer loads of questions that you might have before your ski holiday, especially if it's your first time going skiing. And you're going to be so thankful that you know me, because basically this is all about the mistakes that you can make on your ski holiday before you've even left home. And you don't even realise you've made a mistake until you get to your ski resort. But thankfully you do know me and you're watching this video, and my name is Jen and I live in a ski resort all year round with my family, and I have made most of these mistakes myself, and so you can live through me, learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to do them yourselves. So yay, hello new friend. Okay, thank you for making mistakes, Jen. And yeah, mistakes on ski holidays, it's so easy to do and it can be really stressful, especially because ski holidays often are completely different to other holidays that you might do, and they often can carry a larger price tag, and so more stress and more pressure to get perfect. Let's be clear, no holiday is perfect, no ski holiday is perfect, but there can be a lot of pressure for us as the holiday planners to avoid those mistakes. And so the first thing I'm going to jump into is one of the things that it's really easy to do. And if you're booking a holiday and you've got all the moving parts and you're kind of coordinating everything yourself, it can be really easy to just fire off and start booking things without checking that everything coordinates. And so the area that I'm going to talk to you about now is the one that I see happen most often, and it is booking flights and booking transfers that just don't sync up. So let me break it down for you. If you find some really great flights from wherever you're coming in from, whatever corner of the world, that is brilliant. Bookmark it before you book anything or pay for anything, because what you might find is that that flight is coming into an airport that is not well serviced by transfer companies, and so you might get really cheap flights, but you might find that your transfer options are really limited. And so what you want to do, I missed the motorbike. What you want to do is make sure that before you book and commit to your flights that you've got a transfer option in place. So whether that's a private transfer or a shared transfer, a train, or whatever it is that your next part of your journey looks like, just check that you've got something that links up with your flight time. Otherwise you might find you pay for super cheap flights and then the saving that you've made is just completely wiped out because you've had to pay an astronomical amount for transfers. So yes, make sure that those parts link up. And then the next thing I'm gonna also say is just sense check your flight times and that they coordinate with your accommodation. So let me break this one down for you, because this is always something that I still fall into the trap of, is booking the cheapest flight that I can find. And the cheapest flight is always 6:30 in the morning or something, gets you wherever you're going by 9 a.m. and you can think, fantastic, that means we'll get to the ski resort by midday, we've got an afternoon of skiing, or we've got an afternoon to relax and enjoy our accommodation or whatever. But the actual reality is that most of your ski holiday accommodations aren't available until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because the housekeeping teams are going around and turning them over from the previous week's occupants. So if you can get an early check-in, fantastic. If not, it can mean that you do arrive into your ski resort at midday, but you haven't got anywhere to go. So if you've got a lot of ski luggage with you and children, this isn't ideal, especially as places to leave luggage are often quite limited, and you can't always assume that your accommodations will let you drop things off there. So that is just something to sense check as well, is what time you can get into your accommodation, and does that link up with your transfers, and does it link up with your flights? So there you go, a little tip there. The next thing I'm going to break down for you is assuming that your transfer will drop off at your accommodation. So I've done a separate video on the different types of transfers, so you can do a deeper dive into that. But the two most common types of transfer are private transfers. So this is essentially a taxi, whether it's a minibus or whatever. It's picking you up at a specific time and it's dropping you off at a specific place. That's one thing. The other one is a shared transfer. So these are more like running to a timetable, like a train would, for example. So your flight might land at midday, but a shared transfer might leave the airport at 1:30. Whatever, it's fine. But these shared transfers often have fixed point drop-offs. So you might have a beautiful chalet so I'm in Plagne Centre, for example. You might have a beautiful chalet in Plagne Centre. That's great. You just need to make sure that your shared transfer is also dropping you off in Plagne Centre. It probably isn't going to drop you off at your door of your chalet, but you want to sense check and see how far away it is. If it's a 2-minute walk, fantastic. If you're looking at a 15-minute trek up the piste in the snow, again, not ideal if you've got lots of luggage and children with you. So just check your transfer drop-offs. Those private transfers that I mentioned at the start, they're going to drop you off right on your doorstep. So if you are in a chalet that's a little bit more remote or harder to access, then a private transfer might be the option that is better suited for you. The next one that I'm just going to talk about is also about accommodation, and it's just check whether you are going to pick up your keys from. So if you've got a catered chalet or a package holiday, then odds are that you are just going to go straight to your chalet. The hosts are going to meet you there. In you go, you settle into your accommodation, sorted. It's very straightforward. If you've booked more of a DIY holiday, then you might find that you can't head straight to your accommodation. You need to go and collect your keys from somewhere else first. And so often that will be an estate agent or an immobilier if you're in France. And sometimes they can be in a different village or a different area of the resort to where your accommodation is. So you just need to sense check that as well, how far apart they are from each other, and whether you can get access to your accommodation before you collect the keys, or whether you need to go and collect the keys so that you can get access to the accommodation. Whichever way it works, you just need to know, so that then you can confirm with your transfer company, for example, where to go first. Do they go to the accommodation, or do they go to collect keys at the estate agent for you? So that is just a little one to check in on. The next thing is it's more about the location of your accommodation. So I've done a couple of videos about Plagne, which is my home ski resort, and the different villages and what they bring to the table. But what I would say is, before booking any accommodation, you kind of want to envisage what your ski holiday is going to look like. So are you going to be skiing all day, every day, non-stop? Are you beginner skiers and you need access to the beginner ski slopes or the beginner meeting points and ski school drop-off points? Are you looking for lots of nightlife? So you want to be close to all the bars and the restaurants? Like, whatever your ski holiday is going to look like, you want to look at accommodation that gives you that, basically. There's no point booking an absolutely fabulous refurbished farmhouse, incredible accommodation that's really remote and in the forests and absolutely gorgeous, if actually everybody on the ski holiday wants to go to après every evening and be out in the clubs until 2 a.m, but all the clubs and the après are in a different area of the resort and you can't get to them. So it's one of those things that can be deceiving. The accommodation may look fantastic, but if it doesn't actually serve the purpose of your ski holiday, it's not the right accommodation for you. So I hope that makes sense. So there you go. The bonus tip that I would just say, kind of building on the back of that, is really apparent for Plagne where I live, and I always use that as an example. Obviously these tips are great for all the different ski resorts. Is just don't assume that a ski resort is just one big town in the mountains. Some places are like that, but you'll find that a lot of the European and French ski resorts, they are villages, and they are multiple different villages that are connected by ski slopes and by buses and by lifts. So for example, I'm in Plagne, and in Plagne there's altitude villages and there's valley villages. So at altitude we've got like 10 villages that are all connected by the ski slopes and the ski lifts, plus as well 3 or 4 valley villages that are also connected. And so it's all part of the same ski area, it's all part of Plagne, but you have got different villages within that. You've got Plagne Centre, Aim 2000, Plagne 1800, Montchevin, Le Coche. So the same may be apparent for the ski resort that you are looking at. So just sense check it, because also they're really tricksy, because for example, they name everything really similar names. Here in Plagne we've got Aim 2000, which is up here at altitude at 2000 metres, but you've also got Aim Plagne. Aim Plagne is in the valley. It's actually not part of the ski resort. It is the village at the bottom of the resort where the train station and things are. And so I quite often get people contact me and say, oh, I found this fantastic accommodation, it's so reasonable, it's really cheap, it's in Aim Plagne. And I have to stop them straight away and say, is it Aim Plagne? Because that is not part of the ski resort. Or is it in Aim 2000? That is part of the ski resort. So just learn from that mistake and just make sure that you are booking where you think you're booking, and then don't just assume that everything is part of the same core hub. There we go. So good news, now you can avoid all of those mistakes because I've made them for you, and you can sense check as you're going along in your ski holiday booking journey. If there's any other things that are causing you stress or questions that you've got, then just drop them below, and don't feel silly about it, because I know that if you are thinking that question, then 100% there are other people out there that have also got the same question. So drop it below and I will try and answer it, either just directly to you, or I'll try and record another video, and then we can help out more people, because I am not about gatekeeping. I just want to see you on the slopes with your family having a great time, whether that's in Plagne or whether that's in another ski resort. I absolutely don't mind. I just want to know that you feel empowered after this video, thinking, yeah, actually I could go skiing with my family and my kids this year. It's absolutely doable. So good luck. Maybe I'll see you on the slopes, and if there's anything that I can help with at all, just drop me a message down below and I'll get back to you. Take care, and perhaps I'll see you on the slopes this winter.